The Guardian have the news that our political parties are soft-pedalling on the tough choices this country is facing, and having paid attention to at least a dozen elections since 1979, I can only say I'm shocked.
So Labour would raise taxes rather than cut spending if growth is weak, says IFS. So it's interesting to remember, this is not Labour saying they'd do it, this is the IFS saying what they think Labour would do if the conditions were right. And they actually said that the Labour government would raise taxes or soften debt rules. So that's not in the headline. They're really focusing on the tax thing because there's nowhere to get Labour.
Yeah.
So the head of the IFS, Paul Johnson, was at a press conference. He said there are so many pressures on spending that it's hard for that to be the thing that gives. Given that there's been so many strikes about spending in the civil service, I suppose.
Yeah.
Labour said that it would stick to the government spending plans. So again, it's another story where Labour says it will do one thing, someone else says Labour will do something else, and the headline goes with that. And the shocking thing about this is, it's The Guardian. You expect this from The Telegraph. It's the Guardian.
But this is the IFS, right? They are considered to be fairly neutral. Do you not? You don't?
No, they are. Yeah, I mean, you look where the money comes from. It's the only person who's with a quick Google is complained about them was Nick Clegg.
Right.
Who back in those days said that they were some neoliberal force of... He was not in favour of them.
Yeah.
But, I mean, there's definitely balance. Wait until the next story. They have a go at the other parties as well. In fact, even the IFS said both parties are hiding the shame of the fact that they can't afford things.
Well, this is the thing. But the reality is we've had higher taxes since Liz Truss, right, than any other government in living memory, really, realistic living memory, of anyone who was paying taxes then and would be retired now. So... It's a pretty tough call to say the next government's going to put them up again. Yeah,
and it's the big if. It's if there's no growth, if things are so bad and they try and cut spending and they can't, and then they'll probably look at debt. But if they don't do that, they'll raise taxes. So it's quite far.
Do you think it's realistic or plausible that the next Labour government will be able to cut taxes, cut spending that this present Tory government has felt were redlined?
No, because it's the Tories. It's Labour. Labour wants to spend money. That's what they do. As I say at every single show, is that the Tories the Tories steal and Labour wastes. And that's what they promise. They promise. I live in a a Labour borough,
right.
And they're constantly complaining about the Tories. The Tories have cut our money. So you can't. They're not going to cut. But the fact is, can I just say? Sorry.
No, go for it.
Is that this IFS? We learned about this last year, the year before. They're a private think tank. I don't know where their money comes from. Do you know where their money comes from?
No, you're thinking of the IEA. They're the one that people don't know where the money comes from.
Whatever. But even with this,
I like the IEA, but they're the one that everyone thinks
funded money. I knew it.
What is the IEA?
Institute for Economic Affairs.
Whatever it is. The fact is these people should not be paid much attention to.